We'll start now, and along with the time people are joining, so no problem. So, a very warm welcome to all the parents who have joined today, taking time and to understand why early education matters most, right? And today, mm, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Jagdish, and I am Zonal Business Manager for Southern Market. And along with me today, as a panelist, we have Mrs. Soma Patra, who is a Regional Academic Coordinator for East of India. And also in the panel, we have Anjali, who takes care of marketing per se. So, today, we are here today, as mentioned, to discuss on why early childhood education is so important, right? And we all represent EuroKids. Next slide, Anjali. So, which is India's, leading early childhood education expert with over 21 plus years of experience in operating a preschool, right? And also expertise in early childhood education. So we operate in three countries, which is India, Nepal, and Bangladesh, with over 1,200 plus preschool across more than 350 cities in every district, every state where we have EuroKids present now, right? And we have made a difference in more than 5 lakh children till now, right? So welcome you all again for this webinar. Next slide. So yes, so this is what we are all known for, right? As a EuroKids preschool, uh, for all that business, recognition that we have been getting over a period of time, and the best curriculum that we have been imparting over last 21 years, right? And as a result of that, EuroKids is been, awarded as Asia's most trusted preschool brand of the year 2020-23, India's most trusted preschool brand, 2023, most respected early childhood education brand, 2022, top 100 franchisee opportunity of the year. So 40 plus, awards which EuroKids has been recognized with, awarded with, right? For all the great work that, we as an organization and we as a EuroKids been doing day in, day out, because we strongly believe that, early childhood education is the most fundamental, block in the journey of child's education, right? It's a great foundation which lays the foundation of the child's future education, right? Next slide, please. So this is what we have been always asked, right? And this is what we believe that uh, early childhood education is so important, right? From starting from year 2 to year 6, right? Which is a great building block, for child's education. So we have a small video for all of you, which will clarify, why early childhood education is so critical, right? Between the age of 2 to 6 years, right? So we will play that video for you, and then we will connect again.
What is it that will make some of these babies thrive while others won't? What will make some of these toddlers go on to college and pursue rewarding careers or fulfill their professional aspirations, while others might have to settle for a lot less? Is it a matter of fate, money, intelligence? Is it luck, hard work, genetics? Is it a question of education? What happens in the first few years of life before formal schooling begins helps to lay the foundation for future success. What children experience even before they learn how to talk increases their chances of reaching their full potential and might be the key to creating better societies for everyone. And the secret lies in the most unsuspected place, our young brain.
If you're seeing, if you're hearing, if you're feeling, and if you're deciding, if you're thinking, if you're reading, etc., this is your brain in action.
During our early years, the brain is optimized for learning and is capable of extraordinary change. No wonder a baby brain can create more than 1 million new neural connections every single second. They say practice makes perfect, and that is exactly what the brain does. Every time we learn or experience something new, it detects a change, and that change forms connections, which help build the foundation of a powerful brain. The connections that are not used repeatedly are lost. During the early years, when the brain is at its most active, is when the roadmap of our lives is first designed. Although change is possible as children grow, science is proving that getting it right from the beginning is the best opportunity we have to increase our chances of happiness and success.
Children are natural learning machines. They are born ready to learn. They already have learned some things, even in utero.
The first 3 years of life, I think, are the magical years for intervention, because the changes that we facilitate then can last for the rest of the child's life and of the parent's life and create a new way of relating.
A really good, solid early childhood education foundation are more likely to continue their education when they leave high school. They're more likely to go to college. They are 4 times more likely to graduate from college. They are more likely to get highly skilled jobs that pay more. They are actually healthier as adults.
Because none of us can remember our lives before we were 2 or 3 or 4, depending on when your first memory is, it's easy to think that there's nothing happening in there. The idea that we would think about learning as something that doesn't happen until you're 5 or 6 just doesn't make sense scientifically.
And so kindergarten prep begins in the crib, begins at birth, begins with the parents' knowledge of what their contribution is going to be to the baby's brain development. Because a brain has to be built. It comes ready to learn, but it's not built yet.
While some of these children may thrive and others might not, we now know that the experiences they are exposed to and the skills they acquire early on truly matter for the brain's development. The early years are an unrepeatable opportunity to improve their chances of happiness and success, and the best way to help them fulfill their dreams, whatever they may be.
So parents, as we all know, right, learning starts from birth itself, right? So by seeing, by touching, by hearing, that's how, learning starts, correct? So that is what this video also talks about. And you could hear so many researchers, across the universe, from the best of the universities who have conducted researches over, over a longer period of time, right? From a preschool to, a child reach, to adults age. So based on those researchers, multiple researchers, right? It is evident and it's very clear that 2 to 6 years is the most critical, age wherein, a child can, develop in the best possible manner, where we can lay a great foundation, right? If we invest, at this age with the right scientifically proven learning environment to the child, right? That will lay a great foundation for rest of their life, right? So that important is early childhood education, right? So as you heard, so it's clear evident that children who go through a structured and scientific early childhood education, okay, so benefit in a better language development, improves social skills. Uh, uh, Children would have a very few behavioral problems, reduces discipline issues, attention span enhances, increase social interaction of the child, right? They keep achieving, all the developmental milestone at appropriate age. And children who go through such a scientific learning experience would likely to graduate with higher grades, right? And also end up getting highly skilled jobs, right? So this is what research has proven, and this is what, as a EuroKids, so we have been witnessed and experienced, right? All our children over the past 21 years, so are going through this similar phase, right? So now, I would urge all of you to invest now, right? If your child is 2 years, right time to invest and provide them a environment which offers the best early childhood education, right? Next slide, please. So we will also touch base on why EuroKids over a mainstream school, right? So now, as a parent, you would have two options: mainstream, which offers a pre-primary section, and EuroKids, right? So why we advocate so much that you should consider a school like EuroKid, for your child when it compared to the mainstream school. Next slide. So EuroKids operates in a very small, group size, right? So we have 1:10 as a child teacher ratio, right? And since we have a very small group, which we cater to, and which gives an opportunity to a child to have a greater and productive peer interaction with other children in the class, and we ensure that in a class we don't have more than 20 children, right? So that's great advantage that a EuroKids offers to to the children. Whereas we have seen, in most of the mainstream school, the ratio of teacher and the child is anything between 1:25, 1:30, right? A larger classroom size with more and more children, around 30 plus children in a classroom, right? So which is not a appropriate environment for the child, because at this age, child would require more and more guided one-to-one guidance in terms of attention is required to ensure that child gets better learning environment, correct? So next slide. Age appropriate infrastructure and educational toys that we offer in our preschools, right? It's all scientifically thought and executed in terms of infrastructure is concerned, right? So, for example, if I have to take 2 to 4 years child, right? So they are on floor, right? Because they are not developed to sit on a table or a chair and spend more time hours together in learning, right? They are very mobile, right? That's what you can see in EuroKids classes, right? If you see the left side photo wherein children are sitting on the floor, is what the environment that a EuroKids offers. Whereas when you see the same in the mainstream school, it's more of formal. It's more of, you have table, chair kind of a concept where children are made to sit, and learn, right? Which is not required at this age, right? And the the equipments are sourced from the best of the brands in which are more advantage for a child, plus which enhances the learning outcome of the child. Right. Next slide. Structured peer interaction with mindful learning and skill-based evaluation. Right. So main schools have content-based exams, right, and which follows more of a rote learning, approach, right. But whereas EuroKids emphasizes more on interaction, more on holistic learning, holistic learning, right? Because child is going through a development, physical development change, academic, as well as mentally the child is growing, right. So you should have a curriculum which will address all this requirement of the child, not only academics, right. The entire focus should not be academics, which we see in mainstreams, right. But in a EuroKids preschool, we emphasis more on overall 360 development of the child. Next slide. Yeah, I was mentioning holistic development for the students, right? We focus more on emotional life skills and mindful learning, which goes beyond the physical development and academics, right? So the primary focus, is predominantly on all the areas of development which a child would require in this age criteria, right? So not only the academics development, we don't focus purely on academics, but overall development, which my colleague Soma would emphasize more on that in some time, like how we are going to address all the needs of these children in terms of learning is concerned, right? So next slide. So in conclusion, our curriculum, our child-friendly ambience, and personalized attention help the child, right, develop in all the aspect and make the transition to the main school in grade one very smooth, right. So the foundation is laid so strong that a child is prepared, for the primary education, right. So it's important that as a parent to invest right now in a best school like EuroKids for your child, right, which offers child-friendly ambience, which enhances and exploration and engagement-based learning. All the teachers that we have at EuroKids preschools are qualified and are intensively trained by us, right? So we strictly implement all the safety protocols which are required to operate a preschool, and we strictly maintain a child teacher ratio of 1:10. And the best advantage that EuroKids offers is your intercity transfers, right? So if you are into a transferable job and you move from A city to B city, then your child's learning would not stop, and it would continue in the EuroKids because the larger network that we operate. So whichever city that you move in, we you will find a EuroKids preschool, and your child learning atmosphere will be the same, and the continuity of structured learning would continue, right? Next slide. Yeah, safety is the topmost consideration of the parent. That is what a parent look into a preschool, right? Safety for the child is most critical, right? And we as a EuroKids preschool, right, we address all the safety requirement, right, to ensure that we offer a safer environment to your child, right? So all our preschools across India are under CCTV surveillance, and we do a constant monitoring of what is happening in the school, right? Now, do we follow all the government guidelines? The answer is yes. We strictly adhere to all the safety regulations which are state government, central government, right, Ministry of Education, and also, now post-pandemic ICMR and WHO. So all that guidelines which are being laid, are being implemented in all our EuroKids preschool. All our schools undergo a 360-degree safety certification program, right? Wherein we ensure that all schools are meeting the criteria to be the safe school. Wherever we have a gap, so we give a very limited time to ensure that the school becomes safe, right? So it's a continuous process that we ensure that schools are safe. Our staffs are background verified, right, and they are trained rigorously by us in to ensure that they deliver the right education to the child who associates with EuroKids, right. Now also, we equip all our staff, across all the EuroKids preschool, for emergency preparedness, right? And also in time of crisis, so they would be trained. They would be equipped with all that necessary steps which they need to take to ensure that they take a control of the situation. We ensure that all the equipments, toys, yeah, infrastructure, rooms are being sterilized on a weekly basis, right? So this is a part of our SOP, which is being followed by all the school across India. Next slide, please. So yes, I would now request Mrs. Soma Patra to take you all through, the UNOYA, which is a mindful curriculum, how it helps the child in terms of holistic development. Right, over to you, Suma ma'am.
Thank you, Jagdish. Now I take you forward, parents, to our brief understanding about our curriculum, which is called UNOYA, and very well explained by Jagdish that UNOYA means it's a curriculum named after UNOYA, which means beautiful minds, beautiful thinking. As we deal with very young children, therefore we have to think beautifully to develop their young minds. Under UNOYA, our curriculum, we have mind, body, and soul, without which we cannot have a holistic development for the child. So when we talk about mind, body, and soul, it gives a total full development of a child, and that is why. And now we will go ahead and we will see what are the topics under each of these domains. Under mind, you can see that we have, it is the cognitive domain, which means the brain develop, whatever acquired knowledge the child gets from others, that is the whatever he needs to go to the next program. Like for example, suppose a child needs to go from a KG program to a class 1, what he has to learn, that is all about the acquired knowledge that is being given to him to develop and go learn and go to the next level. That is the acquired knowledge, which is the development of the IQ, the whole world where they always focus on the IQ. So that is the cognitive domain. And under the cognitive domain, we have 3 topics, that is euphonics, math lab, and scientific spark, which we will go ahead with more understanding. But here, now we come to the next, that is the body, that is the psychomotor domain, where we have 2 topics, that is EuroFit and EuroKids. Now, when we talk of body, that is having a healthy mind also requires a healthy body. Therefore, we also focus on the body aspect as well. Then we come to the third, that is the soul, where it is the affective domain, where we focus on the emotional quotient of the child. When the whole world curriculum revolves around the IQ, we also give equal importance to the EQ, that is the emotional quotient of a child, where we have mindful plus and Euro music. So this is how we develop the child in a holistic way in our curriculum journey. We go ahead. Now, coming to each topic, euphonics as which comes under the cognitive domain, under the mind, which where we say euphonics is all very in a normal language. It is also known as literacy and language development. Now, euphonics, here we call it euphonics because every child needs to learn the phonic sound of a letter, and it becomes easy for the child to decode the sound of each word with the sound of its letter, which makes the child learn the spellings in a more easier way than rote learning them. We go ahead. We come to the math lab. Now, why do we call it a lab? Math is the numbers that children learn here, the numeracy skills, more commonly known as but here we call it as math lab because we want to give the children a lab-like experience where children have a hands-on experience knowing the abstract topics with concrete objects to make the concepts very clear for them. Where they do it and understand, we have a lot of equipments on math where the child learns through concrete objects and understand the topics without rote learning them. We go ahead. We come to the scientific spark, which is commonly known as the conceptual skills. Now, conceptual skills, when we want, why did we call it scientific spark? We named it scientific spark because we want our children to think like scientists. Now, what do scientists, when a child thinks more, it is more about understanding, being able to ask more questions and get the answers and reason out them. And that is how when a child is given we also, what we do in our conceptual skills, we allow the child to observe, investigate, predict, find evidences and reason out and apply them in our day-to-day life, where the child does a day-to-day, whenever he is doing the activity, he applies them because he has understood them with a lot of exploration and observation. And with his own reasoning, he is able to apply them in his day-to-day life. So we go ahead. EuroFit. Now this again, we come to the body aspect, the health, where we say the mind and the body both are important. So here EuroFit is a fitness program specially curated for EuroKids by Health Set Go, India's largest ISO certified school health organization. This is an organization where we have international trainer who has made the curriculum in such a way, designed it for our young children, and that is how the children learn to develop the import. They learn to love fitness, they learn to love their healthy routines, and this is how they develop mind to muscle connections and develop their muscles as well. This makes them strong and have an athletic base, and they start loving fitness. So this is where if from young time, if we make the children learn that they body also is equally important, then they will always remain fit and have that respect towards fitness. We go ahead. EuroKids. Now here in this program, EuroKids introduced to help children use their body in a very healthy way through breathing awareness. Now how to breathe well, how to meditate. These are simple things that we teach the children in a very fun way, where the international trainer, she has designed the curriculum with 3 Fs, that is fun, focus and fitness, where she has made the curriculum very easy and fun filled, where the children do the yoga activities in a very different way with a lot of stories, where they develop a lot of concentration and increase confidence and develop positive self-image. And we all know that yoga is important for any age. So therefore, we have the EuroKids also designed by international trainers. We go ahead. EuroMusic. Now EuroMusic also, which is under the soul, it comes under the soul aspect, the affective domain. EuroMusic is a unique outcome-based music program in collaboration with Sing, Play, Love. It includes engaging songs, picture books, music videos to teach young children important skills for early learning and kindergarten readiness. Here, it helps the children to develop a lot of language. It also helps them to develop a lot of emotional and social skills as well, and they it helps them to develop the language in a better way, because there's a lot of stories involved during this Euro music program. We go ahead. Mindful Plus. Now, parents, Mindful Plus, what is it? Mindfulness helps kids focus on the present. We all want our children to focus in the present, because today we have a lot of distraction around us, because we know that children have a lot of gadgets, lot of other things that distracts them, which we earlier maybe did not have. So therefore, we want children to have focus and be in the present, be in the now, and not getting distracted by past, and lot of experiences, mindful experiences to the children. Here, I would request parents that you can always have a one little mindful practice in the home as well, by even a simple activity like having food, a meal which is mindfully done, having a meal with your child mindfully will really help children to become more mindful. For example, any activity you can take up mindfully with your child at home, even giving the child a glass of full water, telling him to go slowly and putting it on the table will help the child to develop a lot of mindfulness and focus on the activity. So we go ahead. A day at EuroKids. Now, what is a day at EuroKids? How is it designed? Let's go ahead. You can see, parents, the day at EuroKids is designed in a very beautiful way with a blend of everything that the child requires, so that the curriculum does not become the schedule in the school, does not become monotonous for the child. We start with the welcome time. Then we start with the welcome time where we welcome the children with a big smile, take them inside so that children don't feel that they have left their parents and come. So we give them that much of comfort and take them in with a very good welcome. Then we take them to the learning corners. Now, what are learning corners? They are 4 corners which will be displayed for the children with different types of equipment and toys, where the children will decide on their own which corner they need to go. This is a total child-directed activity where the teacher is just a facilitator, and she will be able to just guide the children as to, or even usher the children to the next corner if they are not going into the other corners. So this is how the child learns to develop decision-making skills, self-esteem skills, because he becomes very happy when he's playing and is able to play with what he wanted to do with, what he wanted to play with. So this helps in developing a lot of confidence and self-esteem in the child. Then we have the attendance time. Parents, here attendance time is not the normal conventional type. We have attendance time in a very beautiful way with an activity involved. For example, if the child has learned fruits the previous day, then the teacher might have a revision of the fruits by saying, okay, Rahul, can you tell me a fruit? So he tells a fruit, and then the teacher also says that, okay, can you say your name as well with the fruit? Yes. That is how we even have a revision of a topic, and the child learns, gets a revision also, and also is able to tell his name, and the friends also are listening to his name. That is what we want, that every child in the class will be knowing each other's name with a beautiful activity related to the attendance time. Then we have scientific thinking, which is again a concept.
I think we have some technical glitch. Um, let's hope that Soma would connect us back. Okay. So till the time she joins us back, I think she was referring to how a typical day of a child at EuroKids, right? So this is how a child spends, if a child is in playgroup and nursery, then 3 hours of time what child would spend at EuroKids preschool. And if the child is in LKG and UKG, that is EJ and ES, then 4 hours of time. This is how the child would spend. I think we have Soma back with us. Yeah,
Yes.
so you can just take it over.
Yes, I'm not being able to see the presentation. There's a network.
I
I'm not
understand.
being presentation. What is the next presentation slide?
This
Jagdish?
typical day is what you were taking through.
Okay. Actually, I'm not being able to see it. So here we talk about the PG and the nursery playgroup and the nursery children. They have a schedule which is for 3 hours, and the kindergarten where the schedule is for 4 hours. So this is about the day at EuroKids, where we design the curriculum, as I said, in a very yes. Now I can see it. Yes, I can see it. So this is how each topic marked as 20 minutes or 20 minutes. That is how we take the children, and you can see there's a blend. There's a blend of all types of learning here, where we say our pedagogy, where we have blended learning. That means there are different types of activities, the body activity, that is the psychomotor, there's the soul activity, so that the child doesn't get bored. So we go ahead. Yeah. So now, parents, this is a wonderful program that we have in EuroKids, that is exciting new programs each day. Now here, along with our basic curriculum that I explained, we have these 4 beautiful topics that the children also learn. Here we have peer interaction, which means talking with their friends, that is having a good discussion with their friends. Parents, we all know that we are very happy when we talk to our friends, isn't it? We know, because there is nobody to judge us. We always feel very secured and happy with our friends. Therefore, this topic also, we want that the children should be interactive to develop their social and emotional skills. And that is where they also develop their self-esteem, they develop confidence, and that is how they also develop vocabulary when they interact with each other. Because in the peer interaction, they feel, okay, nobody is there to judge us. Nobody is there to monitor us. So they feel very secured, and that is where we develop the confidence in children speaking. Here, next we have the time for reading. Time for reading is all about how to develop the language skills, vocabulary skills. Here, today, our children are more into gadgets, more into electronic gadgets, and there we want our children to be also developing the habit to reading and developing the love to reading, so that we don't move away from reading as well. And this is the place where the children, when we do the time for reading, we have activities, we have a kit. Along with the time for reading activity, the teachers use a time for reading kit, where the children develop through matching, sorting, and lot of other framing of sentences, with which they go ahead and learn a lot of language development. Then we have the SDGs, that is the Sustainable Development. This is a very subject that we are very proud to say that we are the only preschools who have taken up 6 sustainable development goals from the 17 goals that UN nations have taken up as to develop for the sustainable community and nation. Here, we in EuroKids have taken up 6 such goals for our children. Like, for example, very simple goals, but definitely it will make a great difference for a human being, for becoming a great human being and living in a sustainable society. We have 6 goals. For example, we have gender equality, education, sustainable citizen communities. We have life on land and responsible production and consumption. Now, these are big names, big titles, but then believe me, in simple terms, if we can make a difference with each, it makes a great difference to the nation as a whole. For example, if a child how does a city, sustainable city or a community happens when a child from a very young age takes the responsibility of taking after eating a chips or a chocolate wrapper and throwing it, even if road, he will wait for seeing a dustbin and throwing that. For example, how he is able to be compassionate towards animals, melting at them. So these are all life on land exercises that we teach the children. And therefore, the sustainable goals are a wonderful, unique concept for our little children to make a difference to the world. Then we have be safe. Be safe is something that a child has to learn to develop skills to protect himself. Like, for example, we teach them not to be going near a fire. There is not to go near electric points, not to be going near big water bodies, then not to be getting distracted and going away with any unknown person if they call them or tell them to come along with them. They should not be going. They should know that only they are supposed to be accompanying their parents, hold the hand of the parents and cross the roads. These are simple things that we teach the children. And these are such unique topics which we say exciting new programs. It's definitely exciting for the children, and it makes a great deal of difference to our nation as well. Go ahead. Now we have a happiness box. When a child takes admission, the child gets a happiness in a box, which is called a welcome kit, where the child gets a lot of components in the welcome kit. There is a readiness kit involved. Then we have takeaway. Readiness kit is for basically for developing the fine motor skills for the child. And the kit is also designed with the progression of a PG child to a nursery to a EJ, Euro Junior, and Junior to the Euro Senior, where the kit is designed very beautifully with the skills that need to be developed as the fine motor skills need to be developed. We have the takeaway at school, which is again, it is supporting the theme that the child learns. For example, if the child has learned the theme of birds, then the child will make a bird takeaway and take it home. With the teacher, he will make it and take it home. Then we have the theme kit. Theme kit is again, we have 4 kits where we have 4 PTMs here, and every PTM, the parent will get a theme kit, where the theme kit is basically for bonding with the child, because each theme kit will have a activity and a storybook, where the storybook has to be read to the child because related to the class theme that he has done. So therefore, the activity and the book, storybook, will help the children, parents to bond with each other because it has to be done together at home. Then we have the takeaway at home, where the takeaway in school is being done. Similar type of takeaway at home activities will be given for a structured engagement at home as well. Therefore, we will be getting 4 takeaway kits as well, pouches, which will be given during the PTM to the parents. We go ahead. Now we have books, and you can see bags, t-shirts, 3 t-shirts we will be getting for playgroup and nursery, which is color coded. You can see the playgroup is yellow color, and like this, so on. We have color coded books and bag, where the PG children, the playgroup children, will get yellow colored bags with yellow books. The nursery children will get blue colored bag with a blue colored books, and the EJ children, Euro Junior children, will get green, and the senior will get pink. Now we have 3 t-shirts for the children in the bag for the playgroup and nursery children. Then we have achievement cards and medals, which is also given in the kit, which the children will be getting as and when they finish their Health is Well Day, which is called the sports day. They get a medal and a certificate, and there are achievement cards as well, which is the report card, which we call. Then we have another 3 enhancers, which are very, very unique in their concepts, where we develop the children's behavioral traits with the honor badges. Now, honor badges, we will be giving 8 honor badges throughout the session, academic year, where the child will be declared by the teacher as to what badge he is getting. For example, if the child gets a badge, I am helpful, then the teacher will explain why the badge is given to him, that I am helpful, by understanding what by making them understand the meaning of I am helpful, and how so and so child, why did Ayan get the badge I am helpful. The teacher will explain, so that the next other children will also aim to get the same badge in the next. Now, so there are so many batches which will be developing the children's, and that is how we this is one of a unique concept that we have in our welcome kit. Then we have the portfolio. There are worksheets even in the workbooks, but why is portfolio? It helps children to their expressions to be documented in the portfolio, and where we will be also able to give it to the parent and show it to the parent during the PTMs. Then we have vocabulary word of the week. The children will be getting 32 new words, will be learning 32 new words, and each word will be associated with an action, so that the child understands the word and also is able to frame sentences with the words. The words will be taken home, and the parents will be guided to be using these words with the children, so that their vocabulary will develop. Imagine parents, the child will be learning 32 words by the end of the year, apart from all the language that he has already developed. We go ahead. Now I hand over to Jagdish.
Yeah, thanks so much. Dear parents, all our EuroKids preschool offers a multiple shifts, because again, there are a lot of need of a parent, right? The parents who work in a different shifts, right? In their corporate life, so their need is different, right? And also kids who rise late in the morning, right? So keeping in mind all this requirement of the parent, different parents, so EuroKids preschool are the first chain of preschool which offers multiple shifts for all its children. So we have a morning shifts which starts say anything between 8 to 9, right? So 8:30 is the first shift that we start with for PG nursery, and ends by 11:30, and the second shift starts at 12 o'clock and ends at 3 o'clock. Third shift starts at 3:30 to 6:30 p.m., right? Because these are three hours program, right? So now the shift for LKG, UKG, which is a 4-hour program. So our first shift would start at 8 o'clock, and the second shift would start at 12:30, right? So there might be some change in the timing depending on the region and the place. So I think when you visit EuroKids preschool closer to you, I think you get more and more information on this. So yes, multiple shifts to cater to the requirement of the parents as well as children, right? Is what EuroKids offers. Next slide. So engagement beyond the classroom, right? Very important. See, as a parents now, we would not be having a track on what's happening in the class. What is that my child is studying? So what are his learning outcomes for that particular day, right? And I should say that pandemic again, which made us to be more and more innovative, in the last 2 years, gave us an opportunity to take our entire education online, right? And that's how we invented Home Buddy app, right? Next slide, Anjali. Home Buddy app was introduced in year 2020, and when the pandemic hit. And as a result, so it was so advantage to the child, right? Uh, See, a child spends about 20% of the time in the preschool and 80% at home, right? That's a reality. And when the child is spending most of the time at home, then we as a EuroKids, thought this time also should be used in a learning outcome for the child, right? As Soma was mentioning some time back that children are now now used to so much of gadgets, right? And taking advantage of that. So here we have a product which caters to the need of the child, wherein he wants to use a device, right? But he will use a device. He will use this app wherein there would be a continuous learning, continued learning at home from the school, right? And you can also see the learning outcome when the child is using this app, right? So this gives a foundation, in terms of engagement between a school and the home, right? So parents, this is what Home Buddy Learning and Beyond is a app which every child at EuroKids is entitled with, right? And comes with the various advantages, right? Next slide, please. So these are the advantages that Home Buddy offers to the child as well as to the parent, right? So it's all recording sessions which are made available in this app, right? Daily learning plans which are shared by the school through this app for the knowledge of the parent, right? There are so many read along stories which will help in engaging the child with the most attractive and informative stories, which are part of again curriculum, right? So we have a lot of interactive, picture talks which happens in this Home Buddy app. We do also have a parent corner where parent can interact with the school, right? So we have also taken care that there are a lot of interactive games, because we understand children in this age group tend to attract more to play the games, right? And these games which we have created are again which has a learning outcome, right? So they would enjoy the game, but in that entire process they are learning a lot of things, right? So that is a part of a Home Buddy app. Real-time progress tracker for the parents, right? So you can track where is at what milestone your child is, right? So that is the information which is made available through Home Buddy app. We have a lot of fun zones, worksheets which are shared to the parents by the school, lot of do yourself activities, right, which are part of this Home Buddy app, right? So it's a package of so many things that a child and a parent would get access to, right, when they are at home, right? So this is what a Home Buddy is all about. That a child, every child at EuroKids get access to Home Buddy app. Next slide. So, as we mentioned, we offer four programs, which is Playgroup Nursery, Euro Junior, and Euro Senior. So, the age criteria for enrolling a child for a playgroup starts with 1.8 years plus, and up to 3 years is what we take children in a playgroup. And nursery from 2.5 years to 4 years is what is the age criteria to enroll the child at EuroKids Preschool. And Euro Junior, which is the LKG, lower kindergarten, the age criteria is 3.5 years to 5 years. And for a Euro Senior, which is your senior kindergarten, 4.5 years up to 6 years, right? So these are the four programs that we offer to, right? Next slide, please. So, integration program, 15 months of integration program, which we started offering it from January this year. Basically, it's a bridge program or a foundation program. If the child has not attended any formal education, schooling, before you are enrolling this child for a regular program, then this gives a foundation, 3 months foundation program of the previous program. If you're looking at admission for your child in a nursery for the next year, that is for 23-24, then the 3 months program for of PG is what is being offered at all the EuroKids. So this is the integration program all about, right? And uh, so from January it has already started. I think we'll end by April end. Still, some schools we have this program still offered, right? And basically, it gives a foundation for the next year program which you are going to select for your child. Next slide, please. Yeah, it's a summertime, and we as EuroKids every year comes with the most innovative and most engaging summer camps, which we offer across all our EuroKids preschool, right? And it's a 21 days program where the child would be engaged with a very various activities that we have planned, keeping in mind again the age criteria, right? So we have two programs to offer in a summer camp, right? So 2 to 4 years is one which we call it as wanderers, and we have discoverers, who fall in the age bracket of 4 to 6 years, right? So summer camp already the admissions are open, and we are getting a great uh, a demand for a summer camp across India now. Next slide, please. So yes, one more important thing which a parent always think about is after UKG or Euro Senior, what next, right? So continuity is what a parent always look, for the child once they graduate from EuroKids from UKG, right? So as a brand, so we are mindful of this need of the parent, and we as a Lighthouse Learning, we do operate our own K-12 schools, which is Euro School and Billabong High, right, across India, and also in Nagpur we operate with a brand called Center Point Schools, right? So wherever we don't have our own school operational, then we have made it a point that we have initiated and tied up with most of the uh, prominent schools in most of the regions, right? And to give that advantage for all our children, so that they continue in best of the schools, right? So the main school tie-up is on. We have done a lot of tie-ups with the big chain of schools which offer mainstream, and also we continue to work closely with all our school partners, and keep associating with more and more best of the mainstream schools which uh, you know um, which has similar philosophy what EuroKids carry, right? So next slide, please. So yes, dear parents, as we said that you need to give opportunity to your child as early as possible, right? If your child is in year 2, year 3, right time, and without any further delay, I would request all the parents to invest in this 5 to 6 years in your child's educational life. This is a time, and I'm sure that you will also be one of those 5 lakh plus parents whom we have already trust based or made difference, right? And it's very much evident and clear in terms of that all milestones that a child has to achieve up to 5 years are met, and the child is prepared and equipped for all that educational journey that a child has to cover in rest of his life, right? So admissions are open, so you can reach out to EuroKids preschool closer to you. Once you do admission, then we also would conduct a orientation program. A school would conduct and take you through the entire year of a schedule that a school would have, right? And that is the time when we would also hand over the happiness kit, which Soma ma'am explained you in detail the importance of the happiness kit, which will be handed over in the orientation program day. All right. And so we have a different regions which starts at a different months, right? Academic session for North and East starts from April, and for West and South, the academic session starts from June, right? So we have admission open for both the batches starting from April and June, right? Next slide, please. So every Saturday, so we have an open house which has been organized across all our schools, which gives an opportunity for the parent also to experience, right? And also for the child to explore in the EuroKids preschool, right? So all the parents are invited on that particular day, right? Where you can spend around one and a half hours to 2.5 hours time in the school, experience, feel the difference, and then which will help you in terms of taking that right decision for your child, right? A right decision to enroll your child with EuroKids preschool. So every Saturday we have an open house. We would request the parents who have joined today to take advantage of this and reach out to a EuroKids preschool nearest to you, and uh, give time to yourself to know what EuroKids is all about, and then decide. Next slide, please. Yes, that's all that we have for all of you to ensure that we made justice in making you to understand that so important this early age for the child's overall journey of life, right? And I would urge parents to be mindful in selecting the right preschool, and I'm sure that you would not find a better place than EuroKids for your child, right? So now we are open for question and answers. I would request all the parents to use a Q&A box to key in your questions so that me and Soma ma'am would be happy to address all of them and give you information.
There is one question about the sustainable development goals where they said that it was not, they couldn't hear properly. So they want the 6 sustainable goals.
Yeah.
So Jagdish, can I take it ahead? Just 6, naming them. I can tell them the names of the sustainable goals.
Yeah, okay. You
The
can just